following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Oh, look who we have.
Oh, it's a beautiful day. Got our man, Jim from Minneapolis. We gonna take it by storm?
Taking it by storm, baby.
I love that. That's a great saying, man. Hey, what's happening, brother?
Good morning, gentlemen. How you guys doing today?
Good, man. Yourself?
Oh, man. It's been the most incredible couple of days since when I called in on Friday, Litecoin busted out of that consolidation on the 2-hour chart.
Okay.
And it just never looked back. It did a 100-point ABC up, and now it's very extended the way I look at it. But
Yeah.
holy, I mean, it went up to $420 last night.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 10 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day, safe day. It's a TGIF, folks. Let's make it a great one. Yesterday's gone. Tomorrow's not here. What are you going to do right now? Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We have the Dow Industrials down 746. Nasdaq's off 195. S&Ps are off 75. Percentage-wise, what you have out here, folks, you get the Dow down 3%. S&P's down 2.6. Nasdaq off 2.7. Gold contract up $8.80, trading at $13.37 an ounce. Silver, flat, $16.35. We'll get into the metals. Gold did catch a bid. Silver caught the bid. Silver gave it up on price. Bottom line, they both have volume going topside. Oil got crushed down $1.64, trading $61.92. And here's the number again, folks. Notes and bonds. Bottom line, 10-year note up 14 ticks, trading a price point of 121 even. 30-year bond up a point and 4 ticks, 146.01. Both moved topside once again. Wide price spread. Volume behind the move. That's after pulling back the last 3 days with dramatically lighter volume. They both want higher price, lower yield. King dollar couldn't handle higher price. Up at its swing point for March 1st. Gave it up in spades. Get the peanut butter out. Get the jelly. Get the cream cheese. Butter it up. It's done once again. King dollar down 394 ticks. 89.760. The euro is trading at 122.28. to $1 US. The yen is out here trading at 106.80 to $1 US. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do you have? We take a look at the SPY first. What you're going to see out here, folks, once again, bottom line, market not only gives it up, but what you have here, and we've had for quite, well, bottom line is that you have a complex ABC structure on the way down, and it's a monster inside the S&P. It's pretty intense, actually. So your high volume benchmark that we've been looking at for a while is the 258.70. Well, looks like we're going to close under 258.70. That was the February 6th. That was the first downdraft. That first downdraft, of course, started January 26th. You go straight down into that level. You had a high volume low. I have another high volume low on the February 9th. Bottom line, you do a nice counter trend bounce. You get all the way up to 280. Gives it up again in spades and gives it up on volume. What you had inside the S&P when we broke on Monday, bottom line, you broke with volume, sets up a monster ABC structure on the way down. What is the price projection? Hold on, folks, because you're talking about 244 inside the SPY. We're at 258 right now. If you get the 244 and we take a look at the 244, what you're going to see here is that 244 brings you all the way back to June of 2017. It brings you inside the lower trading band. We go back into this on a daily again, and what you're going to see in the daily, bottom line is that what you're doing now, I suspect we're going to more likely close near the lows of the day. You're going to have some juice under this market going lower. NDX 100. Now, The NDX 100, the 3 Qs, was the first one to do the ABC structure on the way down. Ripped apart the B point, did it with volume. That baby had done that on the 28th of March. That price projection out there is at 148. That's not as bad as the S&P. That's under the February 9th time frame. You have a gap that's wide open at 147, so I figure it's going to go after that gap. That gap is October 26th. That being said, and this is where the first indice, which was the Qs that gave it up, bottom line, also end up doing a complex ABC down. And what a complex ABC down or up means is this. You break a B point, you do it with volume, you go back on the opposite side of the B point with light volume. Then you go back down. You don't have to come back down with volume to break the B point again. The thing that was so unusual about the Qs is that that's exactly what they did. They broke the B point, broke it with volume on the 28th, and then what does it do? It turns around, does another ABC structure down, and then blows it away again on the 2nd. Bottom line, ABC structure is down in a huge way. Dow Industrials, we take a look at the Dow. What you're going to see with the Dow is actually going to close under the level of the 5th of March, where right now we're about 100 points actually under it. We are 23,823. That number there is 23,923. So we'll see how this shakes out coming into the close. But bottom line, trouble in paradise. We go take a look at the gold market. So what do we got with gold? Gold market out here. Friday in the gold market, always dangerous, folks. Bottom line, gold market today, rejected lower price at 1322, has volume of 356,000. And so what you're doing out here, you've been consolidating for some time. Bottom line, you were going into a high volume strength, which was the 21st. This baby wants to go after its January 25th high, which is the 1375. We take a look at silver. Inside the silver market out here, today, flat. We did 80,000 contracts in the silver market. Bottom line, that is pushing, and it's pushing with volume. Silver still needs a bid. That's the bottom line. Still needs a bid. We take a look at a few of the gold and silver equities. The GDX out here, 17 million shares traded. That we also want to see more volume in. That's anemic volume. You're up 9 cents. That is anemic volume inside that market. Notes and bonds are the number. This is pretty amazing when you actually take a look at this note and bond market. Fundamentally, yeah, it makes sense that, okay, guess what? Fed saying short-term rates, they're going to go up. If you caught Powell's speech today at the Chicago Economic Club, great speech. Great question and answer deal. Bottom line, folks, he was very transparent on what he was saying. And bottom line, guess what? Nothing is in stone. That's what I got out of that more than anything. Nothing is in stone. And the way that these bonds are trading, these bonds looks like they're going to do an ABC structure on the way up. And what is that saying? That's saying that people just want to be able to get their money back. Stay right there, folks. We'll come right back. We have the Dow down 639. S&P's up 64. Come right back.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Until recently, it was almost impossible for the average investor to hedge against currency risk in Europe or Japan. For a bold trade on Europe or Japan that protects against moves in currency, trade HEGE or HEGJ, 2 times currency hedged leveraged ETFs from Direction Investments. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Tom takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. Let's go take a look inside the indices and see who's taking the biggest hits out here. So if we go into the Dow Industrials first, bottom line, every stock is negative inside the Dow Industrials. The biggest point changer, as always, Boeing is putting 80 negative points in. You got Goldman putting 52, 3M's putting 47. United Health is putting 43. Let's go over to Boeing, because what Boeing had done, folks, Boeing was one of the first large caps that were getting into its high volume low from February 5th. That number is 317. We're at 324 right now. Bottom line is that we'll see how it basically handles that number as it gets closer to that number. Google, let's go to Google, because what we have with Google is this. Google has been looking to get into and break this consolidation that it's been in for quite some time. So what you have with Google, bought down 19 bucks. That consolidation, the bottom of that consolidation is 992. It got to 1,003 today. You're at 1,008 right now. This is where the danger is going to be, how we open on Monday morning. You know, when you put these on weekly basis, folks, bottom line is that these weekly charts, the daily charts are absolutely a mess. The weekly charts are also a mess right now, because what you're going to have, you have a weekly lows, you have volume as you're pushing into the bottom of these consolidations. You know, last week, Google hit a low of 980. This week we're at 1,003. They're all high volume lows, and they're all basically handling and looking to handle this 992. If Google breaks this consolidation, this is the consolidation where we broke topside October of 2017. That is problems in paradise in a big way. We're going to take a look at the NDX 100, strength versus the weakness inside the NDX. There are only 2 stocks out of the 102 stocks inside the NDX 100. You have Ultra Salon that is up 35 cents, and you have Vodafone that's up 2 cents. Other than that, INCY, Insight Corporation, that's taking the biggest hit out here. That's down 22%. You get Xilinx, which is down 5.9%. CLAC is down 4.4%. The chips in general, folks, have been giving really good heads up as to where this market wants to go. If you take a look at NVIDIA, what you had with NVIDIA, you can go all the way back to November. NVIDIA basically went south first, took the market with it. Well, it took the NDX with it. NDX 100, NASDAQ has led the market up for 7 years. Bottom line, now it's leading it down. In November, took it down south. Market shook it off in a huge way. NVIDIA went from a low of $180 in November and then exploded topside to $249. That being said, guess what? It's still making its way down to this high volume low from February 6th, which is 206. You're coming down today. You're coming down once again. You have juice behind the move lower. Your volume on the weeklies, you get all of the above. And then inside the SMHs, so what you have inside the SMHs are also a confirmed ABC structure on the way down. That blew away its B point, did it on the 28th of March, and that never actually did a complex one. That never went back on the other side of the B point. Right now, you're at $99.49. Your price projection is somewhere under 93 on that one, and you're at 99 right now. Some of the other higher volume stocks we have out here as we come into the close out here today. Microsoft's down 220. You got Wells Fargo down $1.13. JP Morgan is down 340. U.S. Steel, this is a mess. Bottom line, folks, infrastructure bills, all this, forget it, man. U.S. Steel's been off the high with monster volume. We're off the high of $47. You're at 34. This looks like it's going to do another ABC structure on the way down. You have one confirmed right now. The confirmed ABC down right now gets you a price projection of $30. That being said, this is how U.S. Steel is setting up right now. U.S. Steel is setting up. It can do a much larger one on the way down. And if that's what you're going to get, let's see where that goes. That's a 15-pointer. That'll get you down into $20. And guess what? Laying out down here, October 31st, is $24. Bottom line, forget infrastructure. The U.S. Steel is saying it's not going to happen. And if we go take a look at, let's go take a look at a couple others. You got AKS, that's trading at $4.30. That bottom line has a high volume low of $4. That's going to go after that. This came down a lot further than this came down from $6.80. So, but problems are out there in spades. Now let's go over and take a look at JP Morgan. Okay, so inside the financials, it totally makes sense. Fundamentally, okay, that the Fed's going up on rates. Powell out there today, he didn't say he's going up on rates or not going up on rates, but if you get a chance to listen to his speech and the questions, do it. It's well worth it, okay? I thought there's a lot of stuff in there that was transparent how he's thinking, which is really cool. Bottom line, JP Morgan, guess what? Hasn't hit its high volume low yet. High volume low in JP Morgan, 103. Right now, you're at 108. You're down 3% out here today. You get volume behind the move. JP Morgan also looks like it's going to set up an ABC structure on the way down. If we go to the XLF, we take a look at the XLF. XLF is same way. Actually, this is interesting. Man, rates aren't going up, folks. The XLF right now is trading $27.03. That is below the February 6th benchmark. Bottom line, you get sellers in this market in a huge way. We'll see if the XLF is going to do an ABC structure on the way down. If it does, that also is a very large ABC structure. If we take a look at the weekly basis out here, what you're going to see, you're coming back into the breakout area. That breakout area was from December 1st. Bottom line, the low of that is $26. If the XLF breaks that, you're going to be down at the $23 pretty quickly. Let's go take a look at Berkshire Hathaway. Berkshire Hathaway is the largest weighting structure inside the XLF. Berkshire is also below the February 6th time frame. February 6th low is 190. We are at 194.65 right now. This thing is also a mess. So this is pretty wild watching this thing shake out. Just doing the same thing. You've dug into right now. Berkshire Hathaway is into the top of where it broke out from in December of 2017. That is a heads up that guess what? You can go a lot lower. Let's go to energies. We take a look at energies. ExxonMobil down $1.50. the energies themselves, you know, they got a nice pop the last 2 days. Bottom line, gave it up in spades. You put this on a weekly, and what you're going to see inside the energies is that's trouble in paradise also. 73.90, it's looking to get into, and right now we're at 74.49. You know, you start putting these together. When you start with ABC structures, whether they're on the way up or the way down, it's important to pay attention to them, because what happens is this. Most times you get a couple equities that started, then it comes into the sectors, then it bounces from sector to sector to sector. And that's exactly how this market's been laying out here. And it's been deviant, yeah, deviant beyond belief, because what you had, of course, inside the S&P, inside the NASDAQ 100, they did complex ones. Stay right there, folks. We'll come right back.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics, including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters.
Would you like exposure to the foreign currency markets without any downside risk to your principal? Then consider the Petro Currencies Market Safe CD from Everbank. This 3-year U.S. dollar-denominated CD leverages the performance of 4 equally weighted currencies from these top oil-producing countries: Brazil, Canada, Mexico, and Russia. This CD features a 200% leverage factor, which means that your potential upside payment will be double the currency's average performance at maturity with no cap if the currencies increase in value over the CD's term. And if the returns are negative, your principal's 100% protected. Returns are based on CD performance with no correlation to the price of oil, and there is no annual percentage yield or periodic rate of interest on this index CD. The April 19th funding deadline will be here before you know it. So call 1-855-750-4051 or visit everbank.com/TFNN for the CD's term sheet and other important product details and disclosures. This advertisement is sponsored content. Everbank is a division of TIAA FSB, member FDIC.
There are 5 reasons traders and investors fail to spot bear markets. It's a set of 5 very specific patterns that have preceded every bear market during the last 130 years. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability and the #1 market timer in the nation, as ranked by Timers Digest for the S&P 500 for the last 3, 6, and 12 months. You see, timing is everything. And on Wednesday, April 11th at 5 p.m., I'm going to share with subscribers exactly how to time the next bear market. Look, the last 3 bears averaged a decline of 49%, which means you've got to earn 82% just to make your money back. Wouldn't it be easier to avoid the next bear market altogether? Sure, countless experts tell you that markets can't be timed, but what they're really saying is that they can't time the markets. So let me teach you how. Sign up for Mastering Probability by coming to the homepage of TFNN.com to begin your 30-day money-back guarantee trial membership and learn the exact tools that I use to time the markets. And if you can't attend live, don't worry, because the workshop will be archived on your members page for the next 30 days. Don't let that next bear market eat your porridge. Sign up today.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. The Dow right now is down 692. You get the NASDAQ up 177. S&Ps are off 69. Let's go over to our man, Mr. Dave White, as we do each and every Friday at 30 past the first hour. Don't forget, folks, Dave's got a great program here every trading day, 2 to 3 Eastern Standard Time. Also has 2 great newsletters. He has the Path of Least Resistance, and he has the Tech Insider. You can get both of those right now. 30-day money-back guarantee. The way you do it, if you'd like to you go to TFNN. You go to newsletters. If you'd like to get the Path, go to trading newsletters. If you'd like to get the Tech Insider, go to investment newsletters. Dave White, what's going on?
Hey, well, a lot of stuff's going on. Actually, I've had a fairly big newsletter for the Tech Insider today, and I wanted to talk about some new technologies. I went through a couple of them in the newsletter today, but there was one that's a little farther off, but there's enough out there that I wanted to start talking about it, and that's optical computers.
Yeah, what is an optical computer?
One that uses light instead of electricity to make ones and zeros.
Wow. Okay.
So everybody's been thinking about this for a long time, but there's been some major hurdles. And basically they've kind of over the last few years got most of them handled. There was one that they didn't get done until about the last 3 months. So we're going to talk about both of them. But I want to give kind of a background on how these things work, because they can be rather daunting, but actually how they work are fairly simple. And the idea is that everything that we have now pretty much goes across fiber optic cables.
Yes.
But every time it goes across a fiber optic cable, whether it's being repeated or somewhere, it has to be taken from light, turned into an electrical signal, maybe amplified or split off or used, and then re-amplified and sent electronically through a laser through the cable again. And the idea is in a computer that you may have some kind of big laser on one end of it to supply the light, but as it goes through, it would only be handled by light. And at the very end of all of that, instead of every junction, it would be only at the ends and the beginnings would you see any kind of electricity used, one to create light and one maybe to drive your monitor or something on the other end. So I want to talk about how ones and zeros work for light. And I think I've come up with a pretty good explanation. But I assume that at some point in your boyhood, you went down there to a pond or anything and threw a rock in to the water. And you saw the saw the nice ripple effect. You had a nice perfect circle rippling out from the center of it. But what you want to do is be able to handle two inputs like a transistor. And if you and I were standing on the opposite ends of a pool, and we both threw rocks about 3/4 of the way, we'd have two ripples coming out from the center of those rocks. But where those ripples of one and the other met, they would kind of form a little crisscross pattern, right? They would one wave would interfere with the other one, and you'd get what well, I don't know if we like it or not out on the ocean. It's called chop, right?
Okay, yeah.
But physicists call that an interference pattern, just real choppy. So what they figured out was what they needed to figure out to make optical computers work very well are two things. And that was how do you turn that into ones and zeros? Well, they actually do it. They can see where there's an interference pattern and where there's just one of the inputs that are on, because there's only going to be a ripple. There's not going to be any interference pattern. And they can do all of that through quantum technologies and all through light. So there doesn't have to be any electricity. You can pair these things up end to end. So, and by doing it this way, you could also use the existing techniques that are made today to make processors. You could use the exact same machinery. The chemicals and some of the other things would be different, but you would literally be able to use the same technology to build optical computers that you do today. So Intel wouldn't have a lot of changes. They'd have some, but they're well on the way to making these optical machines.
And so, of course, it's going to be a faster computer, right?
Well, that's what I'm getting to. When they went from vacuum tubes to transistors, the time that it took from 1 to become a 0 or 0 to become 1 was a very small percentage of a second. But with the vacuum tubes, it was 6 zeros with a 1 after it, because these are pretty tiny numbers. With transistors, they started at 9 zeros with a 1 behind it. So almost no time at all, right? So now we're somewhere around 9 or 10 zeros with a 1 behind it for how fast transistors will go from 0 to 1. But when you go to optical computers, we're going to go to about 15 zeros and a 1 behind it.
That's a lot. Yeah. Okay.
The average computer would be about 200 times faster being optical than it would be using electronics. It also wouldn't, because in electronics you have a lot of heat that goes into it. It's you know, you generate heat. Optically, you really don't have any mass in an electron. I mean, you don't have any mass in a photon. And that means that as it goes through the waveguides, that'll probably be made of some kind of glass to move them around instead of copper around the chip, you really won't have a whole lot of heat. You have fairly minimal amount of heat. So literally everything will be better, faster, quicker, probably even probably at the same price point, maybe a little over in 5 years. Right now, this technology is already being sold because it is so much faster to people in science and technology and the military. There are people making. Remember when like 386 computers were out and you could buy the coprocessor?
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
Well, there's already companies out that have optical coprocessors to do specialized kind of math routines and other things that really need the speed of that. They're not great classical computers in that they can be used for anything, but they can be used for very, very fast math and other things. And, you know, if you had a computer on your desk that was 200 times faster than you have now, well, you'd probably like it, because you're probably thinking about getting a computer already. So, you know, these things are going to be...
You know what's wild is that, you know, there's no doubt when you said the 386, I remember I paid $5,400 for 286s and 386 IBMs in 1984 and 85, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing, right? Where we are today, right?
There's one other thing I want to talk to you about on this, and we'll go on to the next thing.
Stay right there, folks. Dave and I are coming right back. Dow Industrials right now down 627. NASDAQ off 162. S&Ps are off 63. Come right back, folks.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today. The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Tom takes your phone calls. Now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, folks. We're talking with our man, Mr. Dave White. We are talking technology, and right now we're talking optical computers looking for mass adoption in like 5 years.
Yep, and already people selling the equivalent of boards you plug in your PC already to use some of this stuff. They're very specialized for very expensive too for scientific applications, and there are not any public companies that are doing anything like this. There's HP Enterprises, HPE now for the symbol for it, is already getting into making dies with and getting ready to make processors. Not exactly sure what these processors are going to do, because they're not going to be like a competitor to Intel's processor in your PC. So they're specialized for something. I don't know what those guys are doing quite yet. But that was the first part, was figuring out how to make these things ones and zeros. The second part that they've had a bigger problem with that have basically been solved by the Japanese in the last 3-4 months is a thing called a black body radiator, which sounds pretty bizarre. But what you need to do is, if you want to have a very classical style computer like we're used to, is be able to make light in certain parts of the processor. And you could put LED laser lights like in your DVD player, but those would be pretty big. They'd use a lot of power, and they'd create a lot of heat. So they've been looking for these things called black body radiators. And the best way to describe this is, if you've ever seen anybody trying to forge something like a horseshoe, they stick it in the fire and it comes out, but it's glowing, maybe glowing yellow or red. That horseshoe is like wrought iron. It's black, but it's radiating light. And this goes back to a lot of stuff that Einstein worked on and a lot of other people worked on. They were, why does light come out of these things when they're hot? And the idea was to find, to find out how to make something that would be like that. It would turn out light by just putting a little bit of power to it. So we talked about graphene maybe 5 years ago.
Right.
And a lot of people are putting it in skis or all kinds of stuff because it's extremely strong. But there are a lot of interesting properties to it. It hasn't really found its way into computers or electronics yet. Well, what the Japanese have done, they've always been the best on creating LEDs and lights and laser lights for all their products. They've come up a way to make this basically with very little power, put out light, although it's black. And when you're working with things that work on light, light or no light is kind of a big issue. You want something that doesn't reflect something. You couldn't use a mirror because that would just reflect everything that came at it. and may cause problems. So they've solved this black body radiator problem by being able to make, I'm going to say, the equivalent of LEDs that would fit on the end of a pin, right? I mean, incredibly tiny things that would work just like the transistors do today in Intel processors. So they've pretty much solved all these things. Like I said, HP is our HPE. Now that there's two companies, it's going to be a lot of confusion. Is showing dies with these processors on them already for specialized applications. But I'm going to say within 5 years, you'll probably be able to buy computers with this in it. And why everybody's been screaming about the end of processors and Moore's Law, this would easily be able to make these processors fall in line for Moore's Law in the next few years. So very exciting stuff. I've looked at this stuff for maybe about 3 months now on the black body radiators, and it really looks real. They've sent something out. A lot of other people have looked at it and figured out they work, and it looks like HPE's and doing that too. So it looks like they've got all of the stuff. You just need to get it out, get it through a few iterations, get the cost down, and certainly we'll be back in Moore's Law, I think, within 5 years.
Pretty wild, man.
Yep.
SpaceX Internet approved.
Yep. We talked about their giant space thing. Now, the FCC did say that they have to launch 2,213 satellites. Not exactly sure why it wasn't 2,200 or 2,300 or something.
Yeah, right.
But they have to do 2,213 satellites by April 2024. And it looks, from what Musk says, he's getting financing, and they probably start launching them next year. A lot of this is based on a rocket that he's basically going to build for his own company to launch his own satellites. But he needs to get the cost down so these things work and they go into the right orbits. So he's got to make some changes.
Is he doing this, Dave? Do you think he's doing this to get his own internet company up and running? What is this all about?
Yes. You know, how many, well, Google did it and Facebook did it. Everybody wanted to put their, their satellite or their plane in above a planet. So all these people that don't have internet will, right? Because there's still billions of people that can't get internet service, certainly can't get fast internet service. If you live out on a farm in Kansas, you're probably not going to get anything more than slightly faster than dial-up service. And we've seen, like DirecTV, some of those other companies, but because so many people all had to use a single satellite, the amount of speed was incredibly limited. And also at those super high, it's 20,000, DirecTV satellite for internet's 25,000 miles up. That means it has to go 25,000 miles up and 25,000 miles down. It's 50,000 mile round trip. We're basically talking about these somewhere around 150 miles up and 150 miles down. So the latency is going to be fairly close to what most people are used to, that amount of time before you click, before you see something back. It's not going to be that obnoxious as previous things like DirecTV, HughesNet, some of the other ones out there. But from people that want to watch TV, their favorite TV shows that's streaming out on a boat 100 miles out in the Gulf, like maybe somebody I know, maybe want to watch golf or whatever their favorite show is while they're out there waiting for the tuna to bite, to people out in the middle of Kansas, to people in Africa that don't have any at all. This is going to be fairly competitive. It's going to be a little bit more expensive than hardwired system like a Comcast or a Charter communication, but he's thinking not more than about 50%. And if you could charge 50, if you can charge that and keep the costs down, I think it could be a big money maker. Big time. 1.5 billion people without internet access on the world. If you just get a couple 100 million of them, probably a pretty good business.
Yeah, no, I could see that. And, there's plenty of those countries and even states that are out there. There's plenty of money to build internet infrastructure it's just too expensive right now to build it as we could build it versus.
Right. Now the opposite side of this would be, or at least in the United States, is 5G, which a lot of people are probably going to be looking at that if they're at least in medium, smaller size cities that don't have good internet service, to probably get that through 5G.
Stay right there, folks. Dave and I are coming right back. Dow's down 570, Nasdaq's up 146, S&Ps are down 56. Coming right back.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. Talking with our man, Mr. Dave White. And now we're going to be talking Amazon Music. So tell me about it.
Well, we've talked about Spotify and Pandora and some of these other companies, and kind of quietly, Amazon has become a fairly big purveyor of music. And I had to think about it for a minute when I started looking through some of this stuff, and then it hit me. It's Alexa. These guys have doubled their business in paid subscriptions, and if you look at what their numbers were the last time they reported,
yes,
I'm going to say Amazon Music is the biggest music streamer, paid music streamer right now, much more than Spotify or Pandora or any of the rest. And I think it's all because everybody's just coming in and going, Alexa, start, playing my music.
Right. Because what happened, it comes with Prime, but the reality is that you still have to go to the music to turn it on and all that. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, right. I can see that. Yeah.
They also have a paid, no advertising thing along with it too, but or like a second tier. I looked at it briefly. I didn't spend a lot of time on it. But yeah, Alexa, all those people buying it, I have a feeling just because it's so simple. You know, if you had to go to your computer to do it, like Spotify or maybe your phone, but if you just say, hey, start playing my playlist, and it starts, maybe it's something that simple that makes streaming music profitable. But I don't know. But it seems, if you just look at the numbers, they are bigger than Spotify. They're bigger than Apple iTunes. They're bigger than everybody else now. And it's kind of quietly happened with nobody saying much about it.
Yeah, well, you know, if we've all learned anything, Amazon has been in simultaneous businesses for a long period of time, really under the radar, and then it seems to all be coming together now. You know, It's like whether it's, you know, the music business. I mean, their cloud business is just a monster, right? It's unbelievable.
It certainly is.
Listen, folks, you can listen to Dave every trading day, 2 to 3. Check out his newsletters right at TFNN. Dave, thanks so much. Have a great weekend, safe weekend. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Have a great weekend. Have a safe weekend. Look forward to speaking to you right back here, Monday morning, 8 o'clock. Go get him, folks.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.